April 17th. Some slight blooming. Some progress since yesterday. Any day now. These leaves are gonna sprout. Got 8 p.m., 8:15. A sunset. Just on Millborough Line here. North of Waterdown, in the western sky, we have an amazing sunset. Okay, we're here on Easter Sunday. We're looking at the full moon. Wow. 99.4%. 99. I'd say 99.
Less, James.
Yeah, 89 maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, time and date says it's 99.7. That was more than last night. I disagree because we know it's not.
In the 80s, like high 80s. Maybe 91.
Yeah. Gee, this is really cool. Filming the moon as it rises from behind the barn. Okay, I'm gonna move to a better spot. But this is cool because it's coming up in the country here. Holy smokes. See it, Will? Isn't that cool? I'm trying to stay calm here because the moon is so spectacular. Right here, Will. Just
much further towards the west it is than when I came in.
Take note of where it's rising and compare it to where the sun was rising on March 21st, because then you get the idea of, okay, so it's much further south. It's much, right? And it won't go as high in the sky. That's indicative of where the sun rises in early January. Okay? And that we know, the sun is on the Tropic of Capricorn. Right? So therefore, that's why I'm concluding that that's where the moon is right now. On the Tropic of Capricorn. It's going to make a very wide arc tonight. I'm going to try to zoom through the trees.
So the moon would be rising a lot further to the left in the winter.
To the right. Oh, the moon?
Yeah. The sun would be to the right. The moon would be to the left.
The moon in this winter is usually a very high moon.
Yeah,
like it's very.
It rises over there.
Correct. Yeah. It rises on the Tropic of Cancer.
Look at that. Looks like it's just a massive oblong. Holy cow.
That's why I love filming the rise, especially over the lake. Okay, I'm gonna zoom and focus on the camera here. It's my brother Will. Will loves astronomy too.
The question is, why does it look so much bigger at the horizon? Is that just an optical illusion?
It is. It's due to perspective. The humidity and density of the atmosphere, aka the medium, causes a magnification effect, which makes the moon appear larger and different colors, all due to perspective. That's the geocentric explanation. What does the heliocentric side say?
Two things. Some people say that it's due to the atmospheric refraction, but other people say that it's not actually doing it. It's just the fact that when it's on the horizon, it's framed by objects on Earth, so it looks bigger. It's just because of the framing effect. But I firmly believe it is actually bigger, like from our perspective. But there are people that say no, it's actually the exact same relative size as when it's right above you. The only difference is you're framing it against earthbound objects when it's on the horizon.
I would agree that to get an accurate representation of what one perceives the moon to be in terms of size,
You need calipers.
you would, but you'd also need to make an observation at the perigee, right? Which would be probably at solar noon.
Yeah, you would need to take, like, you need to have an exact, like, diameter measure with your...
Okay, correct, but can we agree that the moon actually does not change size? The only thing that changes is our perspective as the moon comes and
The
goes.
question is it because of atmospheric refraction that makes it look bigger, or is it actually just the same size, apparently, but where it's framed against earthbound objects, making it seem bigger? My opinion is atmospheric refraction.
I feel like it's atmospheric density, Will. There's more atmosphere between us and where the moon
And
is.
that refracts the sunlight, making it appear bigger.
Okay, but I believe the moon is its own light source, correct?
Okay. Well,
And the heliocentric says, no, it's the sun lighting it up.
Yeah, that's
Okay? That's what, but the thing is, how do we test that, though? And that's why I challenge that, because, okay, if they're saying that, how do we test it, right? Yeah, we're trying to figure out, why does the moon both appear to change size and color? Can color, in fact, be the variable that tests one theory versus the other? Right, because if one has to say that it appears more red at the rise, why is that?
Due to atmospheric particles.
Which would be atmospheric conditions, right?
Yes.
And I feel that that is responsible for both the color change in color and size.
Well, I agree. I just called it refraction. You call it density or something.
True, but okay, so can I say that the reason why you say it's refraction is because that's what the textbook says. Right? So if
It's like when you put a pencil in the water, it appears bigger.
Yes, it's true. This is physics. That's true physics. What I want to know is, how do you test that? How do we create a real world environment? Look at the moon.
You can see that it's losing its fullness at the top right?
Correct, and that's where it's starting to wane.
A Wayne Gretzky.
But, well, the geocentric theory is that the flat earth theory, on why it wanes, appears to wane that way, is due to perspective again, as the moon moves around our realm.
That tree is silhouetted against it. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
That just looks...
Do you want me to pull back or zoom
It looks
in?
mysterious and eerie in a good way.
Come look.
Yeah. I love the way that looks. Holy crap.
I snapped a few photos. I'm going to zoom in harder. It's just amazing moon here. We got April 17th, Easter Sunday. The moon is rising. Coming towards me.
Right against the trees. That is amazing.
This is Gray Brothers Astronomy.
Look at that. That's like a neato kind of Halloween effect.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Look at it with the naked eye now.
Yeah.
But Will, take your shoes off and allow the magnetic energy of the moon through the iris connecting to your body to the earth and back to the moon. A circuit.
But look how the moon just creates an atmosphere. Right? Like it creates a sense or a...
I believe also that's atmosphere. Yeah. What are you saying? Are you saying the shimmering?
No. What I'm saying is the aura, just the aura and the mood that the moon creates.
Look at it in the screen here, Will.
Oh, I am.
Watch for the shimmering. I'm trying to figure out what that is.
Yeah, I believe that's atmosphere.
But how? It's not in our atmosphere.
It's passing through the tree there. Look
It's 286,000 miles away, apparently. But I feel like that's atmosphere, in our atmosphere, causing that ripple effect. Right? Because if it's not in our atmosphere, I mean, one could say that, yes, it's still being affected because of our view, but, come on. I feel like, I'm not causing a problem here, but what I'm saying is I challenge what they teach us, always. I know you do to a certain extent, but I'm glad you can defend the heliocentric view with passion as well, Will, because we all just want to know the truth, right? Yeah.
The man in the moon, the features are just very discernible.
Hold on.
That's Cassiopeia. Yeah, the W is Cassiopeia. Neato.
Isn't it awesome here?
Yeah. And then you got Auriga and Capella right up there.
Just look at the moon behind the barn. Wow. Let's just get this recorded. Okay, we're here on Easter Sunday. We're looking at the full moon.
Wow.
99.4%. 99. Not 99.
Less, James.
Yeah, 89 maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, time and date says it's 99.7. That was more than last night. I disagree because we know it's not.
In the 80s, like high 80s. Maybe 91.
Yeah. Just looking at the moon. While it's apparently low on the horizon, the moon actually never changes height on the geocentric version. It just appears to change height in the sky. That's all due to perspective again, as the moon moves in a very wide arc around our realm. The heliocentric model says that we are spinning backwards, and that is reflected sunlight. I challenge that. Big time. But anyway, we're not here to argue, we're just here to love the moon. Look at this. My brother and I are just real astronomy lovers.
I'm looking up occasionally just for satellites. I don't see any though.
Got it on autofocus here. Darn. I don't want to start over. Okay, just here on Easter Sunday. Yeah, look, Will, I would say for sure that's 80. I'd say it's 91%.
Yeah, I think it's about 91. Well, you know what?
Might be 92.
Maybe 89. 89.6. It's, when you look at it, the top right section is definitely shaved off. Somebody's taken an eraser.
I don't want to adjust the camera again, because I know what you mean. I know that section. I want to zoom in on it too. But look. Perfectly still, no wind. Any motion you see is the moon. I'm just going to keep quiet for a second and watch.
When the moon started rising over Lake Ontario, the geese started honking, didn't they?
Yeah, the geese always salute the moon and the sun. It's the max zoom on the Nikon. You haven't seen many moonrises, have you?
No.
When was the last one? Do you remember?
Oh, this is impressive. Look at that. Holy cow.
Not very often you get clear skies, perfectly clear, to see a moonrise unobstructed. For most people, you gotta know when it's happening. Look at that, Will. Look at the shimmering.
Yeah.
A slow shimmer.
Yeah, look at that. Wow. See how it's kind of pulsating up too? It doesn't move, it just kind of stops.
It has a pulse, I've noticed as well.
Yeah, it kind of stops and goes.
It's almost like a second clock.
Yeah.
Right? Tick. See, I've tried to identify the pulse and time it, but it's very difficult, right? You gotta be sensitive.
It moves in fits and starts. It doesn't just go in a steady.
Right.
So it just went, and then here it goes again.
Look at that. Wow. Sometimes it moves clockwise, other times it has... I'm going to pull back and then zoom in again. There you go, it's recording. There's the moon. Gets eclipsed by the barn.
right-hand portion of the barn is intersecting it now. Look at that. Oh yeah, dude. So you got that edge of the barn. Now that's a raised point on the moon there.
It's the max zoom.
Yeah, some kind of mountainous region.
That's an antenna. See, it wants to...
Is that an antenna there?
I'm going to try to manually focus this.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's a...
Check out that.
Yeah. Look at that antenna. Is that like a cell phone antenna?
I don't know.
Must be.
That must be how they called the moon.
Or hello?
Hey, look, there's the third hole.
Anybody there?
Why, yes. This is the president speaking.
I think I'm going to the moon. But before I go, I'm going to get myself a blueberry pie.
Look at that. Wow. How's that for a shot? You know the set of circumstances needed to attain this shot? Well, I suppose you could manipulate it with your perspective, but
that antenna, I'd like to know where that antenna is. That's really neat.
I'll try to stop fidgeting with the focus, or the zoom, but I just want to see everything. Look at that.
Wow. That antenna's not on top of the barn.
I think it is, well.
No.
Maybe you're right.
There's no antenna on top of the barn.
You're right. That's probably...
That's got to be a long way away. Where?
This must be 275,000 miles away.
Yeah, it's lurking in
Hey, it's a satellite.
It's a spinning battery.
Look at that. Some NASA CGI right there. There's the moon. It's currently getting orbited by the BSS. The bullshit station. Still going here, the moon. Just stealing the show. Look at that, shimmering. Very slow, and the reason why, I feel, it's because when it's low humidity, the shimmering will be less. And I've noticed very humid days, it's very fast shimmering. Like the sun shimmers very, very fast, and it's hot.
Yeah.
Right? The cooler something is, the more calm it will be as it moves through our atmosphere.
Now I can see that star to the right of the moon now. Very distinctly.
And that's Libra, in the star in Libra, right? Which is
I
it?
don't know what star it is, but you can definitely see it. See it? To the right of the moon?
Yep.
Yeah, about
But it's actually...
one finger length.
It's just to the right of it, it's not above it.
No, that's right. 1 finger width to the right of the moon.
So the moon is in Libra right now. Just gonna...
What is that star?
Just filming the moon and the star in Libra above the moon right now. I'm gonna go for the max. Hopefully I'll get it before my battery dies. Unbelievably still night. Easter Sunday, the 17th, now turned Monday the 18th, just past midnight. Perfect conditions for filming the moon, the full pink moon. absolutely perfect filming conditions. Perfectly still night. It's about 0 Celsius. Wow, the full pink moon. Look at that. Unbelievable. Unreal. Look at that. Wow. Isn't that something? Wow. It is Monday, the 18th of April. Easter Monday. It's the full pink moon. Moving in a very low arc. Goodness me, look at that. Look how dark those dark spots are in the middle. Not there, but up more. Just taking advantage of the fact of this perfectly still night. The full pink moon of 2022. And the full moon will be coming towards me. I'm gonna guess right about there. It's gonna go up like that. So 2 hours after the moonrise, I'm gonna say 1.5. The moon will be there. That's my guess. At 11 o'clock p.m. So 2 hours from now, my guess is the moon will be right there. Just a guess. Okay, so it's 1 hour after the moonrise. Moon came up to the left of that barn and now is almost on a 45, I would say. That would be 45. So about a 35-degree angle, 40-ish. So that being very low from my perspective, which, judging by where it rose to the left of that barn, it is on the Tropic of Capricorn, the small, close moon would be on a trajectory probably I would say just north of the Tropic of Capricorn, so not quite as far south. And the reason I say that is because I know the winter sunrise happens just around behind the barn, so the moon was to the left of that, which means it's not quite as far south. So we'll continue up to the silo, and that would be how the moon would move tonight in relation to being just north of the Tropic of Capricorn. I'll double check that later tonight. Okay, so just to get a better idea of the moon's arc tonight in relation to the barn, it rose on the left side of the barn. Now it's there. It'll reach its apex or apogee, I think it is, or perigee, one of the two, at around 2 a.m., 2:15 a.m., which is about an hour and a half from now. So from me to where it is at its apogee, I'm going to say, or apex until I know exactly the word, is the angle from me to the moon, which would represent the precise line just north of the Tropic of Capricorn. So the sun rose on December 21st, was to the right side of the barn, and it didn't get as high in the sky. So in the summer, it's right up there. From there, you can determine the angles of the tropics to get a better idea of the size of our realm in relation to the distance of the luminaries, the sun and moon, to our perspective. Gotta figure out how to calculate the angle. It's about 10 past 2 a.m. on April 18th. The moon will be at its apex in its arc in about 5 minutes. But I'm going to sleep. So the angle from where it rose to the left of the barn to the moon, to me, has some significance. We can determine the angle based upon where the moon is in relation to the larger picture of where it is in our realm. I said that the moon was just north of the Tropic of Capricorn, meaning Tropic of Capricorn is to the right of the barn, just to the right side. So then whatever luminary was on that line would be just that far below. So now I have some reference point as to basically where the Tropic of Capricorn is. Okay. Full pink moon. 1, 2, 3 finger thumbs from where it rose at its apex in its arc consistently. 4 quadrants would make up 12. There you go. Six is a hemisphere of my periphery vision. 3. And another 3 till it sets. So that's the equal point. The rise. The quarter point. Tropic of Capricorn, approximately.